Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. Today I randomly decided that I was going to read and vlog Iron Flame. I'm technically a couple days late to this whole party because my book showed up late. It is what it is. It's fine. So it's Friday today, the 10th, and I'm going to read this, and I technically started it. I'm on chapter 4, I believe. Oh, hi, Schmidt. He's very snuggly today. I don't know why. Anyways, I'm on chapter 4. I read a little bit of it in my afternoon at work and on my drive home, and so far I don't hate it. So that's a good thing. So if you don't know, I only gave Fourth Wing 3 stars. My book did not have the crack in it. I didn't love it as much as everyone else did. I think that there's some serious logic problems in that book. And the writing is not well done. It's tropey. The book is very tropey, and I'm sure that this book is going to be too. I've heard very mixed reviews about this book, but I've just decided, why not? Let's just jump in. I'm also not entirely sure which one of these, if not both, will end up on the Goodreads Choice Award. Potentially, as you're seeing this, the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees have already come out, so you'll probably know before. I currently do not know. So I'm kind of like hedging my bets and being like, okay, well, maybe I should just read this now. And we'll get it out of the way if it does end up on the list. Because technically anything prior to the release of the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees is eligible. And so that would be that anything released before the 14th is eligible. So this is technically eligible. I don't know if they'll put both of them on or if it'll just be Fourth Wing. I don't know. We'll see. This is a chonker. It's like 600 and something pages, maybe even 700. I don't know. 623. Okay, so it's big. And I kind of want to tab and annotate this, but I don't think I'm going to because I just know that if I tab this or if I write in it and then these books start selling for hundreds of dollars, I'm gonna kick myself in the butt. So what I'll probably do is I'm like listening to it on audiobook and I'm bookmarking spots and like making notes. And so then what I think I'll do is I'll go get another copy that doesn't have the sprayed edges and tab that one. Like just go back and tab it. That's the plan. So anyways, I don't even know if this vlog will see the light of day, but here we are. Also, I just have to point out that I have my little dragon Squishmallow with me today. He's got a little tail. He's so cute and squishy. Anyway, okay. I shouldn't ever vlog when I'm tired. But here we are. So it's Friday night. I am just going to dedicate this weekend to reading this. And we're just going to go through it. So far, I'm really liking this, like, difference between the first year and second year because this is like their second year at the academy and they're watching the first years go through everything that they went through in Fourth Wing, and it's just really interesting to see another side of it. It's kind of like, and I hate to use this analogy because we don't like Harry Potter and we don't like J.K. Rowling, but it's very much like when they're watching Jenny go through the like Sorting Hat and like watching that after you've already done it. So it's kind of like that, obviously with like more death. No, more chaos. I'm feeling so far like it's kind of got a Hunger Games feel to it, specifically like Catching Fire because it's the second book and so you already kind of are invested in this world, but like meets Skyward by Brandon Sanderson but with dragons instead of spaceships, because it's very much like squads and like you know, teams of people that are together and like that kind of vibe that Skyward has. So that's the comparison that we have so far. And here's where I had a problem with Fourth Wing, and this is also, I'm struggling with the writing with this one as well. This book is not an adult book. Fourth Wing, not an adult book. It's YA that has steam and smut, and so they're trying to market it to adults, specifically new adults that have, you know, that are into the romantasy and, you know, all of those the trending things. But at the end of the day, this reads very much YA. Older side of YA, but YA. And she did not do herself a favor by having Rebecca Soler be the main narrator for this, because Rebecca Soler predominantly narrates YA fantasy and sci-fi, things like Marissa Meyer and what are some other ones that she's written or she's narrated? I can't think of them right now, but you know what I'm talking about. She has a very prominent YA voice in audiobooks. So you're immediately transported back to a YA type story. The characters are like cursing a little bit more than they would in YA, and they're like trying to be adult, but like at its heart, this book is YA that the author tried to just age up. And I think if we would have just kept it a YA book, I don't know, like maybe it would have done, I mean, I say it would have done better. This book has like all of the hype of 2023, and I don't know what jackpot got hit for this to like be the book of the year, but here we are. Yeah, I'm having fun with it so far. I'm not very far into it, but so far I am enjoying it more than my time with Fourth Wing. So we'll see how we get along as we get further into the book, because it is a big book and I am worried about pacing. But we'll see.
1 hour later.
And I am just over here listening to my audiobook, making some pasta. And listen, I am not expecting in chapter 9 for necks to be snapping. What? Alright, well, let's keep going.
If we could run it, if we could run it back, and do you wonder if we could run it back, if we could run it, if we could run it back, and do you wonder if we could run it back? I didn't know I had to get out down the road inside of the same old, caught in the circles round they go. It's hard when you keep close.
Hello, happy Saturday. It's the next day. I did not read as much as I wanted to last night of this. We ended up playing video games and like having a chill night, which was good because I needed it. I've had a really bad week at work. Not like, it's just been stressful, right? Okay, it's been a very stressful week. So I only read about 100 and a little over 100 pages. Like, hold on, let me check. 105 pages. So not as much as I wanted to. We have a lot of work to catch up with today and tomorrow because I leave for a trip on Monday and I don't want to bring this with me. So I want to have it done by then. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I think we have a family thing tomorrow afternoon. So like won't get as much reading done then. We're gonna power through. I am still enjoying this. I definitely enjoying it more than I was Fourth Wing. I can tell that the writing style has improved, and I can tell that like she, I don't know, maybe she took the criticisms of the reviews of Fourth Wing and has improved them a little bit. And one thing in particular that I really just wanted to point out, one of the valid criticisms of Fourth Wing was that like the logic did not make sense, right? We're talking about how we are short of dragon riders and like people that can ride dragons and can fight, and yet this college is killing off their cadets. And so you're like, well, wait a minute, if you're short people, why wouldn't you want to protect your students at all cost? There's a discussion in here and I think it makes a lot of sense, and I am going to try to make this vlog very spoiler free, but it is one thing that I want to point out is that they say something about how like the academy, the sole purpose of it is to desensitize you to the rough world around you and desensitize you to death. I got interrupted and then I got distracted. It's a whole ADHD thing. Forgot to continue on with the clip. It's fine. I'm gonna talk while I go pick up groceries because I did a grocery pickup order and I'm gonna go do that. So we're gonna talk. So one of the things that I really liked about, and you're gonna probably see like really quick cuts because I can't form a cohesive thought and also drive. But anyways, one of the things that I really liked about this conversation was that it kind of answered the logistical problem. Is it a perfect solution? No. But like the whole, we're desensitizing you to death, we're desensitizing you to like what you're going to be fighting against in the real world, it at least gave an answer. Was it a great answer? No, but like, it's not a terrible answer. I'm about 160 pages into it. I can't remember which chapter that is. I do want to talk about the pronunciation of certain words, and like, I will leave some links down below of videos of people that have called Rebecca Yarros out about this, because there is definitely like, it's a choice, right? And it's most notably for me anyways, personally, with the name Aoife, because the audiobook says Effie, and like, the word Aoife, that's not pronounced Effie. In no world is that pronounced Effie. So there's that. And there have been a lot of Scottish Gaelic speakers that have spoken out against her and her pronunciations. And so like, it was a whole thing leading up to this book, because she had done some interviews and like very clearly butchered the language, even to the point where she was saying Gaelic instead of Gaelic, which Gaelic is the like Irish they're similar. I heard somewhere where they said Gaelic and Gaelic are similar in the way that Spanish and Portuguese are similar, which like, if you know either one of those languages, you know that they're not super similar. So anyway, that's a whole thing. Now, Rebecca has come out and said that she is going to be working on her pronunciation. She's going to be like hiring a Gaelic speaking tutor. And I'm hoping that she does have some sort of representation in her like beta reads, or in the like, you know, the creation of the third book. We'll see how it goes. But like, she is doing some of the work. So there's that. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, that, you know, she is not without her faults, but I do appreciate that she is trying to educate herself in the language, and like, hopefully book 3 will be better with this pronunciation and a lack of butchering of a language, because like, that's not something we want to do. Anyway, I've got to pick up my groceries. I just like a curbside pickup for we're doing like a family dinner tomorrow, and I'm making one of the side dishes, so I needed some of the ingredients. So I think we'll probably cook that later this afternoon. I'm just thinking like a pasta salad. And then I also have some cheesecake brownies that I kind of want to make. So we might do that this afternoon too, while I listen to some more of the audiobook. I'm immersion reading this. So like, I'm listening to the audiobook, but I'm also reading along with it when I can. And I think that's a great way to do it. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. But I've been listening to this for a couple of hours. We went to a comedy show tonight, so I didn't get a ton of reading done. I'm on chapter, I think like 34, I think is what it was. I don't know, I was listening to it while I was building Lego. 2 things before I go to bed. One, I love Taryn. He is the sassiest, grumpiest dragon you will ever meet, and I love him. Secondly, I'm really loving the relationship and the romance between the 2 characters, but my god, it's so redundant when it's consistently like, every time they see each other, it's, oh, I want to love him, but I can't trust him, and I want to be done with that. So it's like, it's so frustrating, and it's so teenager-y that I don't know, I'm done with it. So anyway, those are my 2 thoughts. I am gonna go to bed. I will touch base with you tomorrow morning. No context here, no spoilers, but fuck Farish. He's the worst. If he takes a long walk off a short bridge, nobody will care. I certainly won't.
Okay, I have like 20 pages left of this book, and so I thought I would film my reaction to the end of it, because apparently it goes in crazy directions, and here we are. Okay, we're just gonna film it.
I can't find a way to describe it. It's here inside of my heart. I wish the pain would stay away just for the night. We'll be alright. Wish I could hold on to you. All of my past comes right back to you. Safest inside both of your arms. Guess this is what it feels like to be in love. Feel the wind blowing through my tangled hair. As long as I'm with you anywhere. Just wanna be right here, yeah, me and you. Whatever we wanna do.
how I feel. I don't know how I feel. Okay, I am going to go feed the dogs and go get ready for the day, and then I will come back with more coherent thoughts, I guess? Okay, hold on. Alright, it's about 45 minutes later, so like, thoughts are still fresh, but I think I've settled on a rating. I want to give it a higher rating than this because, like, based on the ending, based on my enjoyment level of this, it was 5 stars. But there is a reason I have a very logical, very analytical rating scale, and it is specifically for this book because Iron Flame was not a perfect book. This is not a masterpiece of literature. I feel like saying it's not well written is a little bit harsh, a little bit too critical, because the writing style has drastically improved from Fourth Wing. There is an improvement here, right? Did this book need to be 620 pages long? No. I feel like there are 2 stories in this book, and I feel like, you know how when they split up Mockingjay, the movie, into 2 movies, and you had like a full complete story arc and then a whole nother complete story arc? That's what this feels like. And I feel like when they make the movie, or is it a TV series? I can't remember. But like, I could very much see the visualization of this story, especially at the end. If this was a movie, we would have Iron Flame Part 1 and Iron Flame Part 2. And it's very distinct where those 2 story arcs differ. And I feel like it could have been 2 books that like were 400 pages each, that we could have expanded just a little bit in certain areas, maybe described a little bit more of the world. Because you're just kind of thrown to things, and I feel like some of the logic is not necessarily there. It doesn't always make sense. And it's fine. Not every book has to be a masterpiece and a master of its craft. It doesn't have to be, okay? I will say I was really impressed with some of the themes that were in here, and it's something that I didn't really talk about while I was reading it. But based on some of the things that Rebecca Yarros has said in interviews and in like just her personal life, the fact that she is very much targeting government propaganda in this book and like starting a revolution based on the fact that the government is telling their citizens one thing, but in reality something else is happening, honestly, impressed. I'm impressed by it. And it's one of the themes that like it's strung through the entire book, and I'm hoping that continues on into the 3rd book because I really, really enjoyed it. I had such a good time with the political aspect of this book. And I also really loved the romance. There are so many quotable lines in this, specifically between Xaden and Violet, that I was just like, it made my heart so full and happy, and then it would like break it in the next sentence. It was like that roller coaster of emotions in this book here, okay? You're taking on a journey. And I'm not fully calling this a spoiler-free review because I don't want anybody to be mad at me if I accidentally do spoil things. But I've seen a lot of discourse about the other woman trope and the fact that there is like Xaden's ex that kind of comes into the picture, and then like Violet is kind of jealous of her, and like her brain goes kind of in thought spirals of like, oh well, she's royalty, so like he should be with her, blah blah blah. And like, okay, here's the thing, I don't love the other woman trope. It's not my favorite. It's anxiety inducing. It can be anyways. But at the same time, it is reality, and it is something that a lot of women struggle with. And so like, I get it. And I loved the fact that Violet was like, I don't compare myself to other women, not in terms of looks or stature or blah, blah, blah. Like I will compare myself to someone else in terms of like how I fight and how I battle and how I use my magic. But like, that stuff I can control. And so like, she's trying to talk herself out of it, and I don't know, I actually liked that part of it. Like, was it a little bit redundant because it happened multiple times? Yes. I do think that there were some scenes between Violet and Xaden that could have been cut because they were a little bit redundant. They could have been either cut or made more productive. We kept coming back to the spiral of, well, I don't trust him, he's keeping things from me. We can have that conversation once or twice, but like, it was like 6 or 7 times. So anyway, all in all, I definitely enjoyed it more than Fourth Wing. And I feel like on an enjoyment scale, this was 5 out of 5. I like was kind of addicted to this book. Like, I read this in 2 days.
That's a lot even for me. I enjoyed it. Like, I had so much fun reading it. And Iron Flame was the catalyst book for me because when I read Fourth Wing, I gave it 3 stars and I was like, it's fine. The book is fine. I can see why people like it, but it's just, it didn't really work for me. But I was like, but I'm going to continue on with the series. If I like the second book, I'll continue on. And then if I don't, we'll just call it a wash. And then after reading this, and especially after reading the ending, which like I can't talk to you about because it's a spoiler, massive spoiler, cliffhanger. I do want to talk to somebody. I can see the direction that the third book is going to go in, and I don't know, like if it's handled well, I think it's gonna be really fun. That's all I'm gonna say. So anyway, that's my review of Iron Flame. If you've read it, let me know. Let's try to keep the comments spoiler free. That way like nothing gets too heavily spoiled. I'm trying to be very careful in this, but yeah, let's talk. If you're not feeling chatty, do the flame emoji. Iron Flame. Or a flame and a dragon. Do a flame and a dragon. That's all I have for you today. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!